Hello and welcome to a special El Clásico preview edition of the Managing Madrid Podcast. I am Kiyan Sobhani. You are?
Mehedi Hassan.
Louder, Mehedi.
Hassan.
Put some beef behind that voice.
Yeah.
We are at VALDEBEBAS, as you can see behind us. A very beautiful backdrop. This is the first time we've actually used this backdrop. We were going to record in our usual spot in front of the fountain, but Mehedi was like, no. Revolutionary idea. Why don't we get the pitch behind us? So we're doing that. Hope you guys enjoy the view if you're on YouTube. We're going to talk El Clásico. We just finished a half day
Press
at
conference.
VALDEBEBAS. We sat there for 8 hours to
Yes.
see 15 minutes of training.
And
Not
10
even. It
minutes
was
of
like 5
press
minutes.
conference.
And 10 minutes of press conference and just sitting there for hours in between. But we had a chance to reflect. We had a chance to talk about the game tomorrow, expectations. I know you and Lucas had a podcast yesterday.
Yeah.
So why don't you, is there anything that you feel like you didn't address yesterday that you want to address today, first of all?
No. So Lucas and I spoke about starting 11s for both teams and how they might shape up. We didn't really get into key matchups very deeply apart from the Carreras versus Lamine Yamal duel that we have seen in the past when Carreras was at Benfica. Apart from that, we definitely have talking points now in terms of what could the definitive starting 11s might be. Also, Barcelona do have some injury issues that might shape their team differently than how we are expecting it to be. So I think, we got some talking points.
So I have to tell you this first off. I've seen so many comments of like, oh, if we play like this against Barca, we're getting cooked. There's a lot of Madridistas low on confidence. I actually maybe am more optimistic than many people. I also, for those of you guys did not get my reaction to the Juventus win, that was only for members. So if you're a member, you've already heard me say it. But I actually liked our performance against Juve. I understood the concerns that came with it. The concerns were that I think our press is not at the level it needs to be at. Matt put out an article yesterday outlining the numbers and how much more aggressive we are with our pressing this season as opposed to last season. The numbers are dramatically different. But I do think still, like even Juve, there were moments where Juve played through it a little bit too easy. And elite teams who can bait the press and play through it are going to give us a much harder time, and that's a big concern. There are still concerns about, like, are we being efficient enough with the amount of control and chances we have? We should be going into the second half with earlier leads, with more sizable leads, so that when we do concede the inevitable breakaway, sorry, I'm on zero sleep. Mehedi knows it. I don't even know how I'm alive
Kiyan's
right
on
now.
like 17 espressos right now. So.
We are inevitably going to concede one or two breakaways a game.
Yeah.
Last game against Juve, Courtois came up big with a miracle save on the break. Can you take advantage of the control and chances you create so that when you do concede those chances, it won't matter as much? It's math at that point.
Yes.
Real Madrid have had the most shots in the Champions League.
Yes.
They've been comfortably outperforming their opponents in the XG department every game. They are deservedly winning the games they're winning.
Yeah.
When the elite team comes, is your press good enough? Can you put away your chances? The margin of error is small. And finally, I want to say this. For all the criticisms of Real Madrid, I've watched pretty much every single Barca game this season, as I know you have.
Yeah.
I have not been impressed with them either. If Sevilla can put 4 goals past this team, if Rayo Vallecano can give these guys hell with their pressing and their third man runs, if Levante and Newcastle, who did not beat Barca but gave them hell and didn't take their chances, can do it, PSG's B team, Mehedi, if we can't do it with Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., Jude Bellingham, Arda Güler, shame on us.
Yes.
Walk of shame tomorrow, leaving the stadium. I'm doing a walk of shame.
If we can do this with this team, then like everything Lamine Yamal said, bantering against us just a couple of days ago, or even yesterday maybe, we just have to take it, man. So in terms of the breakaways that we are talking about and taking the chances that Real Madrid might get. That's where I want to go next is against Getafe. Getafe is Getafe, Harambal, FC and whatnot. And against Juventus, we did create chances, but we did not put our chances to bed as much as I would have liked us to. The only goal came up against Juventus came from a rebound, and then Mbappe and Brahim actually got a couple of great other chances, but those were squandered because Di Gregorio kind of became Lev Yashin, as it often happens with Real Madrid and opponent goalkeepers. Tomorrow, the mantra of the team should be that if you get a chance, you bury it instantly, because you're not going to get like 1,000 chances. You're going to get a few chances. You have to capitalize them. You have to capitalize on them early, so that if you concede those breakaways, which I think Real Madrid would, considering we're playing at home, Xabi Alonso has been playing a high line, those breakaways will come. Courtois will have to make some saves. There has to be some kind of heroic defense at some point in the game. But if you don't take your chances well, I'm talking about Mbappe, I'm talking about Vinicius, I'm talking about probably Franco Mastantuono. I don't know if he's going to start. We'll get to the discussion of the starting 11 soon. So taking those chances as they come, as efficiently as you can, is going to be make or break in this game.
Can I give you the obvious positive thing about Lamine Yamal's comments?
Yeah, go ahead.
We have struggled with our intensity.
Mm-hmm.
We've lacked... I have been, one of the concerns I would have in general with Real Madrid is that I feel like teams that come out really aggressive and intense against us, we haven't been able to match it.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, what he said
Mm-hmm.
is an excuse for the team to come out guns blazing.
Hopefully I do. But I'll give you a counter argument to this. Usually our team, how the players operate, they kind of try to play these things down, that we don't really care much what other people are saying about us. We just want to do our thing.
Danny Carvajal putting his arm around Lamine Yamal.
Yeah.
Hey, Pablo Maffeo.
And Koundé and Chouamani exchanging jerseys and having their thing at the end of the game. So our players usually don't take these things as seriously as they probably should, especially in this kind of a game. So tomorrow I would like them to take this more personally. Go out with that intensity and try to make a statement. Try to put yourself in a position where you don't lose the game, you win the game within the first half. Because we have seen this Barcelona team is notorious with late goals. And there are a whole lot of other things as well, Kiyan. It's kind of been published to the world that Real Madrid and Florentino Perez is the only singular reason why Barcelona is not getting their second home game in Miami. We know how the refereeing has been in La Liga. We know how Tebas has been calling out our players directly, talking about what Courtois said the other day against Juventus. So there's going to be a lot of challenges. So we have to come up with that kind of intensity to put our chances, to put the game to bed early if possible.
Yeah. You want to run through the starting 11s?
Yes.
And I want to say that I'm actually a little bit concerned about the situations of Trent and Carvajal and Housen, mostly Housen, because I don't think Carvajal or Trent will start. I think Housen will start. We just have bad experiences with players getting rushed back, most recently Jude Bellingham. But Courtois, Fede right back, Militao, Housen, I have a sleep, Carreras, Chouameni, Goulet, Bellingham, Vinicius, Mbappe, Mastantuono.
Yeah, I think you got it pretty right. The thing about Housen coming right in, we just saw Housen training, he was moving pretty well, he looked agile. I think it's a bit different from bringing Jude right away in the derby versus bringing Housen in this game, because center backs, they have to cover only a certain area. They don't have to be covering the whole pitch.
But with Housen's case, he'll be covering a high line. It's a lot of ground to cover.
That is true. But I think the pro in that case, as opposed to the con of covering a lot of ground, is we need his ball playing.
Yeah.
If Barcelona are also pressing very high, we need his incisiveness on the ball, which is going to be important. And I agree. I don't think neither of Trent or Carvajal should start this game. They're not in the physical shape. Carvajal can talk with Lamine after the game. I don't mind. But Fede should start at right back tomorrow. That solves another issue of we can play then Bellingham, Goulet and Tchouaméni at midfield.
Yeah.
And I think Franco Mastantuono is going to start tomorrow, even though Brahim did in the last game.
I think he will too. I after the Clásico, I want to have like more big picture discussion about the lineups now that Trent and Carvajal are back and where Fede fits with Arda and Bellingham. That's interesting to talk about. But for the sake of tomorrow, with Trent and Carvajal not 100%, I assume we'll just see Fede and Mastantuono on the right wing, which I'm fine with. Pressing Barca, I'll bring up examples like Rayo.
Yeah.
That really made Barca uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I think one of the mistakes we made last season against Barca was we put them in their comfort zone. We sat there, and that's exactly what they want. They're just like, thank you so much. We love passing it around, and we just kill your momentum with it. You need to make them uncomfortable.
The Sevilla coach said this exact thing, that if
Yeah.
you let Barca play their own game,
Yeah.
you're going to get battered. If you just sit back and expect that you're going to hit them on the counter, the moment you start counter pressing and pressing, that's when they become uncomfortable, because they're just not familiar with how to play in those situations. So it's at home, the roof is going to be closed.
Yeah.
I expect Real Madrid to play with intensity. If I see them just dropping back with two lines of four, trying to hit the ball on the counter to Mbappe and Vinicius, I'd be very disappointed, to be honest.
I don't think that's going to happen, and for that reason, I actually predict a high-scoring game. I'm sorry if that makes everyone's hearts uneasy. I'm talking like 5-4, 5-0, 4-1, 4-3, 3-2, 3-1. I'm not going to say which team is on the other end of the scoreline, but I just think this is going to be a rare open game for Real Madrid that they don't often get. You're not going to get that against Juventus, for example. You're going to get a Barca. This is the thing about Hansi Flick and Barca. They are the most easily scout. There's a fly everywhere. It's on my lips, my head, my ears. That it's the most easily scoutable team in the universe. They will never ever change how they play.
Yeah,
you know
exactly
exactly what you're getting.
Yeah.
You know, and you have to take advantage of it.
Exactly. And the other thing about the score line that you said, I am desensitized to seeing Real Madrid conceding 4 goals against Barcelona.
Yeah.
Like so many times, so I don't mind, as long as we just I'm just gonna go full Michael Owen here, as long as we just score one more.
That's pretty much the general philosophy when you play the way you play. When it's like you're gonna give the high line and you counter press, you win the ball high up the field, you have a high volume of chances, you know you're gonna concede clear-cut chances as well, and you work out the math, but you got to be efficient.
Yeah.
You got to be efficient. Something else I wanted to say. You want to go ahead?
You spoke with Xavi about one of the aspects of the game. Why don't
Yeah.
you bring us up to speed about
So I
that?
asked Xabi about, and maybe I'll even include it here, I don't know, but I asked Xabi whether he thinks it's a fair assessment that, when you look at Real Madrid play, at times it looks like they need a target in the box. Against Juventus, there were several sequences I noted where you had Mbappe and Vini and Goulet and Tchouaméni and Bellingham just passing it side to side. And they had control. Juve couldn't get the ball off them. But I was like, so what's the next? Where's the final ball coming from? So I asked Xabi, like, when you watch Real Madrid play, are there times where you feel like the team needs that presence in the box? Like you had Gonzalo Garcia in the Club World Cup. Obviously, he's not playing now. And I was like, is this a fair assessment? Do you see it differently? And he basically, I didn't quite get it. And obviously, if this was a more conversational like podcast with him, you could do that. The follow-up question would be like, well, is that like something now that Jude can fulfill? Like he's back, can he crash the box and stuff? Like how does that work? But he said, we have a striker who has a lot of mobility. He's a very great passer.
Yeah.
So we take advantage of it, and different players have different qualities, and maybe there's going to be situations where we do need that, and we have a big enough squad for it. So it actually was less relevant to tomorrow's game and more of a big picture question that I had for him.
We can transition into probably Barcelona starting 11.
Yeah.
They have been having their injury issues themselves.
Yeah.
We're talking in the press room that Koundé is not 100%.
He missed yesterday's training session because
yeah.
I tried to look it up before we started recording. He missed yesterday's training session. Apparently, he is feeling better today. So, I don't know. Take it for what you will.
Yeah. And if he's not playing, I think then Araujo plays right back maybe, or even Eric Garcia plays right back probably.
Yeah.
Frankie de Jong also had a niggle, but I think he's fine. So him and Pedri at the middle of the pitch. Then they have Lamine on the right, Rashford on the left.
You have two players that Fermin, probably.
Fermin and Ferran Torres in the middle. Ferran Torres playing the number 9 and Fermin for Rafinha essentially, who is missing. So Rafinha, I think, is a big miss, but Fermin has also scored tons of goals against us. He's a very dangerous
Fermin
player.
is also in form, and Rashford's playing well too.
Yeah.
He's playing well.
Yeah. Rashford cutting in from the right-hand side against our either makeshift right back or right backs who are not fit for this game is a scary thought, to be honest. Especially not for me, actually, especially the kind of form Rashford is in. That's going to be a challenge.
I trust Fede with my life there. I'm happy with that matchup. I'm more worried about. I don't know. So one thing I didn't mention, the concerns I had from the Juve game. I actually thought Carreras was good defensively. For the most part, he had a couple misreads, but he was so poor on the ball. He put us in some really difficult spots. Mm-hmm. And you can't, Militao had to come cover his ass a couple times against Juve. Carreras obviously played Lamine Yamal really well last year with Benfica.
Yes.
So there's also that. I don't know. It's just, I'm putting it in I'm concerned bin, but hopefully he can come good.
This is what I discussed with Lucas. So while Hausen was away, Carreras actually had to do a lot of stuff centrally as well, and some of his passing struggled because of that. Carreras, even against Juventus, he was in the right half space for some reason. He's a left back. So I think if Hausen comes back, some of those passing gets taken cared of by Hausen himself, and Carreras can just be that no bullshit left back that he needs to be against Lamine.
Yeah.
So that is one reason also why I'm championing that Hausen starts.
Okay. Yeah. I someone asked me earlier, I don't know where it was, but what's more urgent? I think it was Leah. You want Trent and Carvajal back or Hausen back? I was like, Hausen's more urgent.
Yeah.
There's no we have Fede covering it right now, but again, someone was telling us in there that Carvajal was, I think it was actually in Mario's report for The Athletic, that Carvajal had some, I don't know, harsh words, I'm paraphrasing, but he had to take Hausen aside and say, hey, we needed better from you against Atletico, we needed more intensity, all this stuff. So I think that Hausen's a awesome player, awesome signing, an incredible ball progressor. I think there's a certain part of his game where he needs to lock in, I think.
Yes. The only last person in the Real Madrid starting 11, I think, is the right wing position. I want Franco to start tomorrow. What do you think? Franco, Brahim, Rodrigo, who do you see?
I definitely don't see Rodrigo starting on the right wing because Xabi doesn't seem to show any interest in that.
Yeah, against Getafe, he played very briefly on the right, but nothing much happened. But
and then against Juve, Fran Garcia came on instead of Rodrigo.
Yeah.
So I mean, we were talking about it too. Xabi Alonso has this knack for just doing.
Who knows? Maybe Rodrigo starts on the left wing.
You never know. You can't. I'm not going to discount anything. Xabi curveballs against PSG and Atletico to his own detriment. He changed things. I hope he doesn't do anything too crazy or overthink it. But my hunch is that Masantuono was given the rest against. I thought that was my camera against Juve, so that he could start this game. And I don't see Brahim starting 2 games in a row.
Fair game. So I think we've
for what it's worth, I thought Brahim was good against Juve.
Yeah. I think we've covered pretty much everything. Before we freeze to death because of this breeze, do you have anything else to add?
Not that I can think of right now. But actually I do. Mehedi and I are going to be recording the post game from the Bernabeu. That's only for members. As you guys know, and this is funny because the last year and a half, Real Madrid's track record in big games has been terrible, right? And the way we do our members only shows, the biggest game of the month is only for members, the post game show.
Yeah.
So people think we're just skipping the post game show because we're scared because of a bad performance. We don't want to do it. We've actually done a post game show for all the big games, and I can tell you, like, this is the next one, and then in November it might be Liverpool, in December it's City.
Yeah.
So all of these post-game shows are predetermined for members only. We're not running away, win or lose. If you want access to that, go to patreon.com/Managing Madrid. If you're on YouTube, hit join underneath this video. There's a memberships tab on the YouTube channel as well. We'll link it. You can't miss it. Don't be scrambling tomorrow night. Where are they? Where's Mehedi? Where's Kiyan? They're scared? No, we're there. Just make sure you're a member. Make sure you don't miss it.
Live therapy in front of the
That's
Bernabeu.
right. Therapy or celebration.
Yeah.
One of those we can promise you. All right, Mehedi.
Yeah.
It's been an honor.
Same here, Kiyan.
See you tomorrow. All right, guys.
Tomorrow.
Peace out.
Take care.